In Central Appalachia, Cryptids create a colorful shared culture and are bringing dollars into West Virginia.
The craft beer industry is booming in small towns, creating new opportunities for local entrepreneurs.
Coming up, we take a deep dive into West Virginia culture and tourism, exploring the people, places, and traditions that make the Mount State unique.
Those stories and more coming up on West Virginia Today.
Coming up on West Virginia Today, I'm Samantha Smith, and I'll show you around the Fiesta Tableware factory, which is the last pottery factory in the United States.
Cryptids are leaving their mark across the Mountain State. I'm Reagan Dusman, and coming up on West Virginia Today, I'll tell you how these communities are embracing these local legends.
People used to come here against their will. Now people pay to get in. I'm Hannah High School, and I'll have that story next. West Virginia Today starts now.
Welcome to West Virginia Today, a public affairs show produced by television journalism students right here at West Virginia University. I'm Claudia DeLima.
And I'm Hannah High School. West Virginia exported nearly $5 billion in goods in 2024. Those exports support more than 27,000 jobs in the state.
One exporter, Fiesta Tableware, is the last surviving clay factory in the country. And as Samantha Smith reports, does more than just provide jobs for the people who love their colorful products.
Leanne Wiles, from Morgantown, has a kitchen full of colorful plates, bowls, and even pitchers. But they aren't just any dishes. They are factory-made, handcrafted Fiesta Tableware, pieces made right here in West Virginia. Wiles has used Fiesta her whole life.
Growing up in West Virginia, I remember my step-grandfather having some, and they were these pretty pastel colors, and like as a little girl, like seeing pink dishes was really exciting.
Newell, West Virginia has been Fiesta's home since 1936. The only clay factory in the country, it's located near the Ohio River clay deposits. Matt Wicks, Chief Operating Officer at Fiesta Tableware, says he is happy to still produce their product in West Virginia.
So we approached the Newell family, who owned a farm where we currently reside, and we bought the farm from them and created the entire town around, including all the infrastructure as well.
While Fiesta pieces are not entirely handmade, some, like the pitcher, require hand finishing.
On an average day, we're producing roughly about 5,000 dozen pieces through our plant. We're on track right now to do about 3.1 million first quality Fiesta pieces will leave our plant this year.
Each Fiesta piece goes through a rigorous quality control process, ensuring every item sold is in perfect condition.
From blue to yellow, this factory produces 3.1 million Fiesta products every year.
But it's not just the color that attracts buyers. The quality and the durability ensure Fiesta is a piece worth investing in.
We have had stories of people dropping their ware on a granite countertop, and it chips their granite countertop and not the plate itself.
Wiles says it's about the quality for her, but also variety.
I also love any kind of linens, and so I try to match it with my linens and stuff like that, and having that variety of colors, you know, makes it fun.
Collecting Fiesta ware is a generational tradition for Wiles, and she says one day she hopes to pass her collection down to her children. For West Virginia Today, I'm Samantha Smith in Newell.
In folklore, Claudia, a cryptid is an animal-like being that people claim to see but can't prove exist. Stories about cryptids are told all over the world, like Canada's Bigfoot or Scotland's Loch Ness Monster.
Reporter Reagan Dusman traveled the state to collect the stories of Appalachian cryptids and joins us live in the studio with more. Reagan?
Thanks, Claudia. Hannah, the stories of cryptids are passed down from generation to generation, and along the way can help rural communities create a sense of shared culture. In West Virginia, some small towns are using these tales to create festivals and landmarks that attract tourists and ultimately improve the local economy.
Bask in the wisdom of the Mothman.
Every fall, the small town of Point Pleasant transforms into a hotspot for the strange and supernatural. The Mothman Festival draws in cryptid lovers from across the country, all united by mystery and myth.
Things like this make people feel more comfortable to express who they are. And that's one of the great things about this festival in general, is that you can just be yourself.
The Mothman is a 6 to 7 foot tall, large-winged creature with red eyes that West Virginians first reported seeing in the 1960s. It's known as an omen of bad things to come. The first Mothman Festival took place in 2002 and has become a staple for Point Pleasant, drawing in more than 10,000 tourists and generating more than $2 million in economic impact.
Everyone that is walking around right now, they're buying food, they're buying gasoline, they're staying at the hotels, they're going out to dinner at night. Some of these people that are here are not here just one day, they're here for the whole weekend. And when they're not spending money at the event, they're spending money at all the local businesses. So it's really good for the community.
Economics is not the only impact cryptids have had on West Virginia. In rural communities like this one, locals have embraced these creatures as one of their own.
A little over 100 miles away in Braxton County, West Virginia, the Flatwoods monster lurks in the shadows and on the hearts of locals. This green and red extraterrestrial was first reported falling from the sky and landing on a local farm. The legends of Mothman and the Flatwoods monster aren't just spooky stories. They are a part of West Virginia's identity.
It's already what's happening in the state, and it's already part of the history of the state. And it's so much better to embrace what's already here, like cryptids and hot dogs and pepperoni rolls, instead of reinventing the wheel and kind of pretending that we're something that we're not.
According to folklorists like Warren, these legends have staying power because of how deeply they're rooted in small communities.
Because the communities here can be so close-knit and so strong, I think the stories that people tell get passed down and they get preserved. So all it takes is one person to come in and say, we'd like to collect the spooky stories that your grandma told you.
From economic boosts to preserving oral history, cryptids are helping keep Mountain State culture alive, one legend at a time.
There were 6 cryptid festivals held in West Virginia this year. The Mothman Festival reports 2025 was a record-breaking year for attendance. More than 32,000 people attended the Point Pleasant event.
Thanks, Reagan. From 1867 until 1995, the West Virginia Penitentiary housed some of the state's most notorious inmates, Claudia.
But today, Hannah, the prison's bars and cell blocks attract a different kind of crowd.
I traveled to Moundsville with digital reporter Jessica Riley to meet the tourists looking for history and sometimes the paranormal.
The West Virginia Penitentiary has been closed for more than 2 decades, but its impact on Moundsville hasn't faded. What once was a prison is now one of the state's most visited tourist attractions, drawing in more than 35,000 people each year. Tour guide Jalen Sutton says she sees visitors from all over the world.
Most of the people in Moundsville kind of see the pen, they're like, oh yeah, that's the penitentiary. But when we have people coming from like Japan, Germany and stuff to come in and see it, it's a really well-known place. We have people from all over the world come for just this.
The 250-bed facility housed inmates for nearly 130 years and was known for being overcrowded, sometimes holding more than 2,000 people.
It's been decades since anyone was locked up in these cells, but for West Virginia tourism, they're still open for business.
1, 2, 3, prison!
The penitentiary's gruesome past now generates more than $550,000 each year in economic impact for the city. What keeps people coming back are the stories from inside the prison and their experiences that they sometimes can't explain.
I was up in the psych ward walking with one woman. The rest of the party was in the gift shop. I walked through, saw a shadow that was so tall it stood above the door frame, and then it jumped up to the ceiling and crawled across it.
Local historians say while the prison's violent past can't be forgotten, the community largely supports the role it plays today.
I have mostly seen pretty much all support for it being a tourist destination. Some people in town are a little iffy on it being a paranormal destination.
But visitors think the penitentiary could do even more.
I think they could put some Airbnbs in a couple of those cells and sell it, and the fact that Moundsville is right across the street and that's our next stop, I mean, it's history and everybody should enjoy it and have access to it.
Whether it's for haunted tours or historic lessons, the penitentiary continues to shape Moundsville's identity long after the last inmates left its walls.
Visit our website to read digital reporter Jessica Riley's story examining the uneasy relationship between the West Virginia Penitentiary's grim history and its modern role in tourism.
According to the National Brewers Association, craft beer sales declined by 4% in 2024.
And for the first time since the early 2000s, Claudia, there are more breweries closing annually than opening.
Reporter Lily Reisenweber joins us live in the studio to tell us more about the health of the industry in the Mountain State. Lily?
Thanks, Claudia. Hannah, Forbes reported in 2010 that West Virginia had less than 5 breweries and ranked last in the country for per capita beer production. But today there are more than 30 breweries supporting the economies of small towns across the state. I visited West Virginia's largest in Elkins to learn more about the industry and their craft. Since selling their first keg of beer on May 4th, 2014, Big Timber Brewing is now the largest distributor of craft beer in this state. Owner Matt Kwasniewski says initial growth was slow.
Originally, I did all the production and a lot of the bookkeeping. My wife was our only bartender, and then we had someone helping us doing outside sales, and that was basically it.
The brewery has won countless awards, including 2 beers receiving gold in the World Beer Cup. All 20 taps here at Big Timber Brewing are made on site. They have 17 beers, 1 non-alcoholic root beer, 1 seltzer, and 1 alcoholic seltzer. You can also find most of their canned beers in your local grocery store, including their officially licensed beer with WVU. In 2024, there were 36 craft breweries in West Virginia, compared to just 5 in 2011. Craft beer had a $264 million economic impact on the Mountain State, with breweries producing more than 21,000 barrels last year.
In so many of West Virginia's tourism destinations, I think it becomes commonplace. Folks expect that you're going to have, a good craft brewer that can provide a unique experience to them. So I think you'll continue to see growth on this front, hopefully.
Across West Virginia, craft breweries are sourcing ingredients locally and hiring within their communities.
We use, for our merchandise, we try to use local. A buddy of mine, he does all our tap handles. So it's, try to use as much as we can in the local economy. We buy some local hops for our fresh hop beer every year.
Craft beer continues to pour into West Virginia's economy. It's currently the second fastest growing manufacturing industry in the state. And Kwasniewski says he expects Big Timber to only continue to grow. Visit the link at the bottom of your screen to view West Virginia Tourism's ultimate West Virginia beer road trip. The guide highlights 14 breweries from Charlestown to Parkersburg.
Thanks, Lily. From events like the Mothman Festival to tours of historic sites like the State Penitentiary, tourism generates more than $6 billion in annual revenue for the state, employing 1 in 15 West Virginians. Hannah is joined in the studio now by one of the state's leading economists to tell us more about how tourism fits into the state's overall economy. Hannah?
Thanks, Claudia. I'm here with Dr. John Deskins. He's the director of the Bureau of Business and Economic Research right here at West Virginia University, and each year presents state lawmakers with a statewide economic forecast. Dr. Deskins, thanks for joining us today.
Happy to be here.
So I'd like to start with just a basic overview of West Virginia's economy. What industries does the state's economy depend on? Coal is the most common answer, but what else drives the economy in West Virginia?
Well, we have a few industries that have been growing at higher than average rates in recent years. For example, energy output has been growing relatively rapidly. That's coal and gas. Healthcare has been doing well in recent years. Professional services has been doing well. A couple others, but the real point there is that we don't have a healthy level of industrial diversification. A key part of a healthy economy is a diversified industrial mix where we have multiple industries that are doing well. That way, if one industry suffers due to some shock, there are other industries that are still growing that can fill in that gap. But we have too much reliance on just a few industries. So finding ways to broaden out the industrial mix in West Virginia has to be a really key economic development priority.
That's an interesting point. Your office also prepared the state's most recent economic forecast for the West Virginia legislature at the start of this year. Where does the state stand in relation to the projections that your office presented?
Well, we expect West Virginia to slow down. This is true nationally and in the state. We don't expect a recession, we don't expect declines, but we expect employment growth, output growth to not be where they have been nationally. In West Virginia, we expect the economy to be mostly flat in terms of employment for the coming years. Now, 6 months ago or a year ago, people were worried about a recession. So flat is better than a recession, but the growth isn't going to be as rapid as we hope, most likely.
So staying on the national level, the extended government shutdown has impacted several industries, including tourism. Has the shutdown directly affected West Virginia's economy, and do you foresee a long-term impact on the state?
It's too early to be sure, but when the shutdown first happened a few weeks ago, I was very concerned that it would really damage tourism with the national park, with the New River Gorge National Park. This is prime season for tourism, fall foliage season. This is when we have all these tourists coming in, bringing money into West Virginia, and I thought a shutdown of the park might really damage our state. But state leaders have intervened to make sure that the park has stayed open during this prime tourist season. And the other parks that are tourist destinations in West Virginia are really state parks, not federal parks. So I'm hopeful that the impact of the shutdown is going to be muted in West Virginia, at least as far as tourism goes.
Yes, so the Bridge Day 2025 reportedly brought in over 120,000 people, although some were worried about the government shutdown. How does an event such as Bridge Day hold up its surrounding area and economy?
Well, it's important to bring money into the state. I mean, tourism is within a comparative advantage. This is something that West Virginia can do really well because of our beautiful state, our beautiful mountains, wonderful rivers, scenic amenities. This is something that's in our comparative advantage. It's something that we have to focus on because it brings money in from outside of West Virginia. Those dollars circulate through the state. Once they come into the state, there's an economic multiplier effect, and tourism creates lots of economic benefits as those dollars ripple through the economy over and over. On top of that, tourism improves the state's image. When people come here and they see these whitewater rafting opportunities, these mountain biking opportunities, when they see the mountains in the fall colors, it might change kind of what they think of when they think of West Virginia, and that's got a real strong benefit as well, probably.
So aside from Bridge Day, there are some other main moneymakers in West Virginia. The Department of Tourism showed recently that it collected $9 billion in economic impact for this last year. So what do you think these main moneymakers are that have driven this rise in tourism?
Well, again, the main thing is tourism is a way to bring money into West Virginia. That's the main thing. We have to find ways to export our goods or to bring money in through tourism. So when a tourist comes here, they spend money at a restaurant, a bar, the whitewater rafting place, the mountain biking place, bringing money in. Those businesses pay their employees spend money in the state. Those businesses buy inputs. Like the whitewater, the rafts, for example, that they have at the whitewater rafting place. They buy inputs. That's creating even more business in the state, and that's how the economy works. We have to find more ways to really leverage our assets to get more tourists to come here, to bring more money into West Virginia, and really capitalize on the opportunities that we have.
So while there is a large focus on adventure tourism like this whitewater rafting and Bridge Day, the state, as you said, also offers local food and beverage options when people do come to West Virginia. One of our reporters covered Big Timber Brewing, which is a local beer distributor. While it might not shift the state's economic situation, how do local breweries and other establishments benefit the local communities that they might be in?
Well, they certainly have a direct benefit just through the dollars that are spent there and as that money flows through the economy, as I said a second ago. But really, these craft breweries have an important impact in terms of making West Virginia just more cool. We have to make West Virginia attractive to potential residents, people who might want to live here, and we have to make West Virginia attractive to potential tourists. And having a healthy craft brewery scene is one important part of just making our state more attractive to residents and tourists. So I think this jump that we have in craft breweries and other related businesses is an important step in economic development in terms of making us more attractive.
So I would also like to touch on there is no shortage of coverage and advertisement for places such as Cooper's Rock, the New River Gorge, and Cass Railroads. Do you think the investment is worth it? Does the state experience enough of a return on investment for what it's doing to advertise these tourist destinations?
I think the investment is worth it. I think Again, tourism is one of the areas where we can really have strength because of our wonderful natural outdoor amenities. It's within our comparative advantage. It's something that we need to leverage aggressively. So the more that we can do to promote West Virginia to out-of-state residents who might move here, who might come here to visit, I think it's going to yield a good return on investment in the long run. That said, it's entrepreneurs and government leaders need to be very careful in analyzing each different part of our overall marketing theme, just to make sure that we're doing it the right way and getting the biggest bang for our buck. But overall, I think it's probably a pretty good investment.
Dr. Deskins, we do only have 30 seconds left, but I would like to ask you one more question. What lessons, if any, can West Virginia learn from other states that have found themselves in a declining economic base and have found success in other industries?
What we need to do is diversify our economy, as we said, and we need to invest in our people. We need to invest in West Virginia in improving drug abuse outcomes, health outcomes, poor education or job training outcomes. If we can invest in our people and find more opportunities in our economy, we'll be much healthier in the long run.
Dr. Deskins, thank you for your time and insight today.
Thank you.
Claudia, back to you.
Coming up on West Virginia Today, we'll travel down I-79 to hit the rapids of the Gauley River as whitewater rafting season comes to an end. That story and more after the break. Stay with us.
I'm Jeffrey Bogus, and straight ahead on West Virginia Today, I'll be telling you why rafters are showing up in droves at the Gauley River every fall season.
Straight ahead on West Virginia Today, I'm Ty McClung, and I'll tell you how one coal-filled town comes alive for battles in the rain.
Quiet and ready in control room. 3, 2, 1. Fan in bumper.
WVU News is local, in-depth, and always on the move for you. And it's always on YouTube, on the web, and on the Reed College of Media website. A national first-place Emmy Award-winning college newscast taped at the Waterfront Studio at West Virginia University. Stay in the know, stay connected, watch WVU News.
Hi, we're WVU. You probably know us for screaming. And yeah, we're pretty good at it. But here, it's more than a chant. It's our celebration of innovation.
Let's go.
Our rallying cry for community.
Let's go!
And honestly, it's just our way of life. So whether you're chasing big dreams or just chasing sunsets,
let's go!
Welcome back to West Virginia Today. Gauley season has come to a close. The 6-week period after Labor Day, when controlled dam releases turned the Gauley River into one of the most challenging whitewater runs in the country.
The season draws about 20,000 paddlers each year and plays a significant role in the region's fall tourism economy.
Jeff Bogus takes us to the Gauley River for a look at how this year's season is still making waves in the local economy.
Before the sun rose on October 18th, rafters were already shuttling over the New River Gorge Bridge. Their destination, the dam at Summersville Lake, where heavy whitewater conditions on the Gauley River were about to recede for the season.
For only 23 days out of the year, we have this release of a specific amount of water, specifically for whitewater usage.
Gauley season is the first ever federally mandated whitewater season in the world, thanks to the Water Resources Development Act of 1986. The Congressional Act designated whitewater recreation as an additional purpose of the Summersville Dam.
You can mountain bike down this thing in the summer. I mean, dude, it's low. You could almost walk across it in a lot of spots.
Gauley season runs for 6 weeks, starting on Labor Day. During that time, 70 vertical feet of water is released from Summersville Lake, leading to rapid conditions along the 25-mile stretch of the Gauley River and drops such as these.
It's a water level that's really fun. It's good for surfing, good for running the rapids.
They let out the perfect amount. I mean, third bowl of porridge, perfect amount.
According to the New River Gorge Convention and Visitors Bureau, the river drops around 668 feet altogether, from Summersville Dam to its merger with the New River, an average of 70 feet per mile. It has earned the nickname the Beast of the East, drawing rafters from all over the world. Business owners in the area know to expect a boost in activity during this fall stretch.
You run into all types of different people, older, younger, anywhere. Anywhere they come from, you're going to find them. So
With the season at a close, Summersville Lake will naturally refill with the winter and spring rains. Come next fall, Gauley season will start all over again. Reporting for West Virginia Today, I'm Jeff Bogus in Summersville.
West Virginia may not have any major league sports teams, but the state is still home to athletes chasing big dreams, including wrestlers in southern West Virginia, where the sport is thriving.
Ty McClung and digital reporter Jonathan Edwards traveled to Madison to meet some of them turning small-town matches into big-time goals.
And that elbow drop off the top. Goes for the cover. 1, 2.
For almost 20 years now, All-Star Wrestling has been hosting events at the Madison Civic Center in the heart of West Virginia's coalfields. Gary Dameron, the owner and promoter of ASW, says that the allure of wrestling is the stories the athletes tell during matches.
It's a wonderful story of good versus evil, and it's a man's soap opera.
Casey Huffman is a Boone County native, and for him, wrestling is more than just a career. It's a way of life. Known in the ring as the 8-bit kid Huff Manley, he's the current heavyweight champion for ASW and started competing in 2018. He hasn't missed a match since, balancing both his career as a wrestler and his personal life, assisting families with autistic children.
There's times where I've wrestled 3 times a week, and I've also worked my real job and stuff, and wrestled the same day, or wrestled twice a day at 2 different promotions.
Since the company was created in 2006, Dameron says the crowds have grown consistently, filling community centers and gyms throughout southern West Virginia.
On average, between 300 to 500 people come to each ASW event to hear the ring of the bell.
Fans of ASW travel from all over the state to see their heroes battle it out in the ring. And they say that the joy these events bring keep them coming back for more.
It's an escape from the world. It's, there's a lot of darkness going on. This is happiness, They bring joy, entertainment, which in the world we're living in today is what we need.
Wrestlers say they feed off the energy outside of the ring as well.
Fans, they're always excited. They're always engaged. They love to love the good guys and they love to hate the bad guys. And so when you're in the ring and you're wrestling, just the feedback you get from them, being able to hear them, knowing that they're engaged, knowing that they're entertained, knowing they're buying what you're selling, you can't beat it.
The feeling hasn't gone away for Huffman either, who says performing in Madison is special.
Being able to perform here in my hometown in a building that I grew up with, seeing friends and seeing family that come to the shows, it's honestly, this wrestling in this building means a lot to me. Every show I get nervous, every show I get excited, so it's interesting and I wouldn't change it for anything.
Reporting for West Virginia Today, I'm Ty McClung in Madison.
That's it for this edition of West Virginia Today. I'm Claudia DeLima.
And I'm Hannah High School. You can keep up with the latest from West Virginia Today on our website at the bottom of your screen.
You can also stream our shows on HD Media's websites, including the Charleston Gazette Mail.
Thanks for watching West Virginia Today.